Sorry, I
And
forgot to
and there's a Montpelier resident that has taken issue with the way that Montpelier has tried to fast track the development of that piece of property, and now he's actually he I don't know that he's threatened. I think he's actually filed lawsuits um, for the planning. Let's see, Central Vermont Planning Commission and TAC, I believe, that we haven't been executing our duties correctly. So
Okay.
we spend a lot of time talking about that, and Stephen spends a lot of time um, reminding us of his opinion in that meeting. So
Well,
it, it's a challenge. At least
You're
It's
really
up my
selling it.
alley.
You're really selling it, Jim.
I think that sounds interesting. You're
So-
selling the position.
Ooh,
Let's-
lawsuits.
Yeah, let's start at the top though for chairman and vice chair.
Well, thank you for going into that with me. I appreciate it.
sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Chair, I
Oh.
nominate Jim Kraft. It's Jim Sanford's son.
Thank you very much for that, but this is, if depending on what happens in the next week, if there's no appeals on the land use development regulations, history.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay. Other
we've
Jim?
got so many other fun stuff ahead of us.
No,
I know you want to be part of Jim.
no.
I can't commit to that, Jenny.
I don't want to do it. Okay.
It's time for youthful minds
Well-
to take over.
I reached out and I haven't heard back yet, because I don't have, and I don't know, well, Sam said that he wants to be on the PC.
Yeah, good.
But he,
Can't do it for a while.
yeah, it's gonna be April, maybe May, but I think April,
Mhm.
he said he
That's
would
not
be able
bad.
to be passed.
Yeah,
So
that's right,
that's a
yeah.
step in the right direction.
That's great. He's really gonna be good. I talked to Camilla about trying to get one of the DeFreeze on board too. And
Oh,
she
that's a
said
great idea.
She
That
said
is-
she would talk to them.
Who's
She's
in Warren?
Warren.
Who is in Warren? What DeFreeze
Um,
family member is in Warren?
Junior?
I can't remember.
Dan
She was
Jr.?
gonna
Because
talk.
Junior, they have the farmhouse in Waitsfield, like the couple that's kind of in their 30s and
Yeah.
40s.
Oh, maybe they don't live in town anymore. Camilla was gonna ask him.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
Jenny, how about
Aye.
you for chairman?
I would prefer not to have that much responsibility. I feel like
Yep.
Michelle is doing an amazing job with outreach. If she wants to
Oh.
continue to put as much energy into it, Michelle, would you want to be chair?
I'm not opposed, but I am expecting a baby in August. So,
But you're so good at juggling.
all right.
Oh my God, that's coming up.
Wow.
yeah. So like I would have maybe a month or so of being remote.
Two little kids.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's
Yeah.
fabulous. How
Good
wonderful.
for you. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
Way good news.
So that's
Well,
my
we'd get two for the price
Yeah.
of one.
So then
So
if
I
you are,
thought-
yeah.
vice chair would have to kind of maybe cover me for a period.
Well, do we have somebody interested in being the vice chair so that maybe another person can feel good about being the chair?
Adam, you want
I
to keep
mean-
it?
I can continue to be the vice chair if you'd like. Yeah.
What's your August, September look like?
You're looking at it.
Okay.
I'm pretty much here.
Okay, well, I mean, there
guess
have
I
been
should
there have been
probably-
times when you've been MIA, so
Yes.
as long as
Yeah.
as long as you're good about making sure that you know that everybody's covered if you do have to stay away. I come across this with the DRB from time to time, so I really need to know where everybody is and that, yeah, they're gonna be here or not. Not only just for quorums, but it would be helpful, especially if a vice chair was good at being able to cover a chair.
I guess I should clarify like what exactly the responsibilities are. I mean, I noticed that Dan runs the meetings.
just run the meeting.
Just trying
That's
to-
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah,
basically just
exactly.
be here.
Yeah,
which I'm already
it's,
doing
it's,
for the
it's you're
most
being
part.
the leader, you're the leader of the pack, is what you are. You're the leader of the pack and you run the meetings. Dan did it, and prior to that, Jim did it for several years. Mike Ketchel did
Mike
it.
Ketchel,
You and Ketchel would go back and
what's
forth.
his name? Guy who
Is
lived
Randy
in-
doing it?
No,
No.
who's the guy who?
Oh, Clofach?
Yes, Craig
Yeah, Craig,
Klofak did it for several years.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd forgotten he'd been chair or vice chair
Yeah.
for a while.
It's not, it's not a lot of extra work. You're
Okay,
basically running the meeting, you
okay,
know.
It's
That
not
being
like being on the
said,
DRB.
okay.
Very
that
different.
being said, you can, aim things the way you feel like they should be aimed.
Yeah, sort of pick out certain topics to focus on or,
I mean, I don't think everybody realizes what the profound effect that the planning commission has on the town. You know, the way Warren looks right now is because of succeeding, because of the planning commission, strong planning commissions all the way down the road. There's big meadows that are open, there's tight cluster housing generally, and the place looks pretty good. And with the new land use development regulations, it'll stay that way. So it's a way to affect, I mean, you guys did it. You had the wind down. That was that was a great thing. That was a community building thing to do. And you can pull off the charrettes were always good things, and the spaghetti dinners were things that got people involved in the planning commission and got them involved in the look and operation of the town. So it's an opportunity to put your stamp on something, or and if you feel strongly that we should go one way or another, or things like that, you're in charge. Dan really pushed the
STR.
the Habitat for Humanity thing. He really wanted that to happen, and he's pumped it. So that's we didn't necessarily agree with him on that, but he led that charge.
yes, yeah,
So-
he did.
And he also did with the STR, thing, and,
Yeah.
and not just drafting it. I think he felt very dedicated to it as far as making sure it was done and done right. as
I
far
mean,
as the ordinance.
you do have an opportunity now to build a certain people have gotten off the commission, I thought were not as positive as they could have been. And I think it's, you have the opportunity to get together a real good, young team to take it the next phase.
Yeah,
And I think it's amazing. If Sam's on,
Oh,
because Sam knows a lot about planning, and he'll be a great resource for that. And, basically what you're doing as a chairman is pushing your agenda. And I feel comfortable with your agenda already.
okay,
well, it's you get to prioritize things that you think that are important. I mean, I'm gonna interact with certain things if it has something like, we need to get the town plan updated, stuff
Right.
like that. I'm gonna keep reminding you about that kind of thing, but otherwise, yeah, I mean,
But when is that due?
it expires a year from this April.
Okay, so that's one thing, you probably get a consultant to help, and they'll read
I'm
through it.
gonna be sending out an RFP.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll use
They'll-
Central Vermont.
Yeah, they'll read through it and they'll say,
need
hey,
some
here's
help
some
with the
changes you
survey.
wanna make. But you guys have a good sense of what the current town plan is, and I don't think it needs to be changed a huge amount.
no.
And Macon, I would think, really wanted to open up to housing all over the place, and he's not here, so.
Yeah, when,
I have some notes. I will say I have some good notes, and I'm happy to go over them, outside of a meeting with Michelle and Adam, just to get them updated from like what we've covered in 2023, like master planning and the resource mapping. I had a note that we're kind of overdue for some, like, for the 2027 town plan update. The next step was resource mapping. So like there are some like very tangible things that I think we could do to improve the town plan based on the last 3 years of just chatting about the current town plan.
Right.
Yeah. So I wouldn't want to do it during a meeting. It'd be nice if I could get kind of just chat with Michelle and Adam, or we could do it like at another time, but not like go through these like details now,
Okay.
Yeah,
unless whatever you guys think.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just to side note on that.
Um,
Okay, so
Yes.
can we vote on?
Well, just
Well-
before we vote, for what it's
Mhm.
worth, I think, sure, it's good to have young leadership, but older, experienced leadership sticking around to help doesn't hurt, especially when the room is kind of empty right now. So I propose
Well-
Jim stick
No,
around
no,
for a little
no.
while.
I've been on for 25 years. That's long.
Oh, what's another year? What's another?
You're not allowed to leave.
Let me throw this out there.
What?
Let me throw this out there. I know that you're waiting until like March 18th. when-
18th.
Right.
Yeah.
Could
Done. This is my
we,
last
could we
meeting.
entice you until, say, the end of April when Sam gets on?
No, I gotta end
Okay,
this.
all right.
I've
I
been
just
at
thought I'd ask,
Yeah.
at least.
Are we gonna have quorum
Well, we
issues
tried.
if we get under 5?
No, 4 is a
No.
quorum.
Oh,
4 is a
okay. I
quorum.
better know these things.
Just everybody has to show.
We all have to show up for every
Well,
meeting. from
there
here
are
on out
times, I think,
until
and
Sam shows
Carol,
up.
I think this is correct, that let's say, I mean, a quorum is 4. Let's say 3 of you turn up, and for some reason, or the 4th person that we may or may not have expected to be here isn't here. I believe you can still have discussion, especially if it's recorded in their minutes.
You
You
can't
just
just
can't
vote
make
on it.
decisions.
Right, which we don't every meeting anyway.
You don't make many decisions other than
Yeah.
the minutes from the previous meeting that
Right,
you always, move a motion on it.
okay.
Um,
And it sounds like Sam's gonna be right along. And then we'll still
Yeah.
need 2 more.
Well, with Jim, yeah.
You guys should think of who would be good people to work with.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
Okay.
And luckily, we do have Jim Crafts, who is of a slightly
Come in
different
one more time.
Yeah, he's
He's been around a long time. He's very, very good. He's
and
been
really participatory.
valuable here to the PC as well as
Yeah.
other parts of the town.
Yeah.
We've really benefited from his, retiring by a lot.
Mm.
So, having somebody else, maybe from that perspective, somebody a little older would be nice, and maybe we'll come across somebody. But
Oh,
I mean,
can I,
go ahead, Jim.
Jim Crafts knows that I asked Shannon, our town historian, she stood up and talked at town meeting, and she has said that she's kind of maxed out, but has such great background in affordable housing and seems like she could be persuaded. So I just want to put that out there that I'm going to kind of press her to see if she will attend a meeting.
Yeah, do that.
I like Shannon.
She is,
I like
she is
her a lot.
really good.
Yeah.
She was incredibly helpful with the town garage thing.
Yeah.
She met with us a whole bunch of times and crafted how we presented it to the public. And
That's
really
wonderful.
strong, really good.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to keep just asking her and just saying,
Yeah.
because I told her you don't have to do a lot outside of the meeting, but to the extent she has knowledge and she's smart and good at communications, being present at a meeting with all of us would be very helpful if
Really
she can
good.
commit that time to just be at meetings.
Good idea.
Yeah, that is
so I'm going to
good.
keep asking her.
Okay.
And then someone had mentioned the new owner. Have you met the new owners of the West Hill B&B?
Not in person, but I've heard about them.
Do you have any feelings about asking them?
No, you can ask.
Have you met them?
No, I haven't. But my
I think we want.
my cousin Randy has said he.
I think we want to meet these people.
I
I'm
think
also
we
wary
need-
of it if it's new to town.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we need to be a little more
Yeah.
Have to
seasoned.
know the history a
Sure.
little bit.
The new owners of the West Hill B&B up on West Hill Road.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what their perspective might be. I think it would just be the perspective of a new
What about
business
Jess
owner.
Washington.
I wonder if she would want to donate to give us time. I mean, she runs the PTO, but I will ask her.
Then
I will
probably
ask.
not.
Yeah,
Jessica
she's very involved
Johannesson.
with the
Remember the
PTO.
Johannessons?
Yes, I know them.
Yeah. I don't know.
Their
She's
daughter- their
involved. They
daughter.
live in Warren.
Yeah, I know.
But,
Okay.
yeah, she's
And
really,
then
PTO though. That
Okay.
much I do know.
That could be a conflict.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I
know
mean,
that.
I think she well, like from that experience, she understands town funding and like has the knowledge just from growing up here of like how lands are owned and the complexity that, Jim Sanford also tells us about all the time about that huge piece of land that the town garage is on. So she could bring some really good knowledge. I am also thinking of Frankie and Asher, and I don't know their last name, but they are parents of a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and they go to they're Spring Hill parents, so I know them from Spring Hill. Does anyone know who I'm talking about?
No.
No.
Now, where do they live here in Warren?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh,
I don't know.
I want to say the name rings a bell, but I don't think I necessarily know them or have met them.
What we've done in the past is when we've gotten the person who we think is interested, we've had them come to a couple of meetings.
Yeah.
I remember when the guy from Weather Hill, what's his
Oh,
name?
yes. I know who you mean.
He came and he had a real agenda.
Yeah.
He said, I want to get rid of these crappy houses and make every house a really beautiful old fashioned, house. And I mean, his
He
agenda,
wanted design.
and everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Like-
kind of happened just by financial realities.
But there's some oddball units
Yeah,
now
there are.
around. So
Yeah, but a lot less than when I was.
They're not like a
Anyway,
historical village in other
he-
towns that
yeah.
have everything where there are design.
he wanted it
restraints.
to be historically correct.
Yeah.
And, everybody thought about that and said, well, wait a sec, this doesn't sound so great.
Yeah.
So it's you guys have to figure out who's a good person to work with and what they're bringing to the table, that's all.
And are they bringing something different than what's already here?
Yeah.
There's also a good little variety. Yeah, I think Shannon would be a good one, and I think Sam would be good, and then
Yeah.
see what we end
And
up
Sam
with.
would be amazing. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam would be good. He's got the experience of being on the MRVPD, so.
So do I hear a motion for a chairman at this point with this conversation?
Well, I'm still on the board right now, so I can nominate you as chairman and Adam as the vice chairman.
All right.
Okay.
I'll ditto
I'll second that.
that first, yeah.
Okay.
Now, let me
There's
ask you,
five of us here.
unless you're, I want to make sure that we've take 2 out of here. That means we're down to 3 that are actually voting. So you really need to do these motions separately, I would think,
Oh,
to be
okay.
correct.
Okay, let's do Michelle first.
Okay, thank you. I just don't want to get tripped up
Michelle
here.
for
It's
chair.
not, it's not difficult.
So Jim
to
is-
do. You call the
is
meeting to
a
order,
motion?
you ask people to talk.
Okay.
And you'll have an agenda and I'll,
Robert's rules, right?
Okay, so.
okay, Jim has moved that he wants to suggest Michelle as chairman. Is there a second?
Second.
Jim Craft.
Thank you, Jim Crafts.
Okay.
All in favor, with obviously maybe the exception of Michelle?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
So, okay, so we got 4. Thank you.
All right.
Now I heard somebody say something about a
move.
motion for the vice chair.
Yeah, I'll move for Adam to continue as vice chair.
I'll second it.
Jim Sanford was second. Okay. And any more discussion?
No.
And, yeah, and, so a vote, please, with everybody but Adam.
Aye.
All
Hi.
right.
Aye.
Thank you.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
All right, now. Next thing we have on here is the Mad River Valley Planning District. Now, we can actually maybe, I'm gonna throw this out as a suggestion. I mean, unless somebody of this 5 people really wants the position, maybe, just maybe, once, if we can just have a lull in there, maybe get Michelle as chairman to at least go temporarily. Once we get Sam on, Sam might be the right person for that. is just my general thought.
Yeah, he knows a lot about how they operate,
But-
right?
That's
You gotta
just
get
one
him
thought.
on before we know that.
Right, right. I know it, I'm making an assumption, but maybe between him and Shannon, once,
That's.
So, Ruth, when are those meetings?
They are, one Thursday night a month.
yeah,
Oh, that's not too bad.
One
At,
Thursday?
one
So-
Thursday night a month at, the Waitsfield House. Where the MRVPD is, the Wait House.
the White House.
And they last about an hour and a half. Joshua runs them pretty well.
I want to say it's maybe the third Thursday of the month for some
Yeah,
reason.
like the third Thursday of the month.
Yeah,
And it's really interesting because it's where we all shop. It's the thing that ties all the
Yeah.
towns together.
are you
Yes,
interested in that, Jim?
I'd be willing to help with that, but I have a standing conflict on the third Thursday of every month with the Historical Society.
That's right.
So if I had to move that, I probably could. But I'm willing to help with that until Sam comes online.
Let me verify which Thursday it actually is. I think it's the third Thursday, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, you'd like it, Jim.
And
Yes.
that's something I could commit to. That's something I could.
Select board member, it's been,
It definitely is the third Thursday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Thank you, Carol.
you're on it still, Carol, right?
No, I'm just the recording secretary.
I see, okay. Um,
I haven't been on it for years.
yeah.
So I got to go
Um,
back to the Historical Society and see if there's an appetite to move our meeting.
Yeah,
To like the second or fourth Thursday, something like that.
Yeah, or even the Wednesday before or something like that.
I tell you,
And I'll do that. I'll let you know if you folks are interested in having me do that. If not, that's fine.
you'd be really good at it, Jim. It's a lot better, a lot better than the TAC and a lot better than the Central Vermont Regional Planning.
Yeah.
It's all about, our zone.
Yeah, our
And
neighbors.
it's pretty good. And it's a
That
chance-
interests, yep, that interests
Yeah.
me.
really
It does.
interesting.
I vote for Jim.
Second.
Yeah,
Aye.
yeah, see if there's a way you could do it.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
So
Okay.
just so you guys understand, what you've actually done is just recommending to the select board that they appoint Jim. to the
Yes, yeah, that's what we,
MRV.
As a representative of the town.
who,
Yep.
do we
Yep.
know who the select board member is who's on that?
They
It
haven't
was-
done that
it-
yet.
It was Kaylee, so I don't know
Yeah.
who it's gonna be.
It was Kaylee Whitehouse, but she didn't re-up on the select board.
She didn't?
No,
Are they still short on people?
Wait a minute,
no,
no,
they have a new guy,
wait a minute, who's,
John,
who's on the select board?
um,
Joel?
we have Devin, we have Camilla, we have Joel, we have Harvey, and we have, oh God, what's his name?
Ken
Scott.
Scott.
Scott?
What's his
Yeah,
first name?
Ken.
Ken Scott.
Okay.
After this year's town meeting, I was like, I'm
Refresh
definitely
names.
never getting on the select board.
Well, I think you could take it. I think after that meeting, I'd be like, okay, well, someone needs to be in charge of understanding the budget. Can we hire someone to do that? 'Cause, I mean, was it like
totally
Rebecca who
reviewed.
usually talks about it? I know
Listen.
Bob Acklin usually talks about it, but like,
Yeah, he
From-
they made a mistake this year because usually when Ackland speaks, he says, this is the municipal budget, and here's the thing that really affects your taxes, the school budget.
yes, yes. Oh my God.
Budget is 3
I know we were
times
arguing
the-
about like $500.
Yes, we're arguing about nothing compared to the school budget, which is enormous.
Which passed, right?
Which passed.
Yeah.
So, here we are having this fight about these nickel and dime things, which are gonna change your tax rate by $100 or something like that. Whereas the school thing is gonna change your tax rate by $1,000.
We should
Yeah, like
cover
save
school budget.
Yeah, so that
save
was,
our breath and show up in Montpelier one day and just say, Someone come up with a solution. I think Candace White, she made me hopeful that her committee was doing something.
Helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you
Uh,
something. Central Vermont Regional Planning is also just once a month, correct?
The what?
Central Vermont Regional Planning, Jim Crafts?
Yeah. Yes.
And are you still willing to stick with that or not?
Yeah.
Oh, you are? Okay,
Yes.
thank you. You've been
Wow.
re-upped.
Really
Okay,
did.
motion to nominate Jim Crafts. Do we have to do that?
Stop going to TAC for Christ's sake.
I'm sort of curious about this TAC lawsuit.
I am curious about it. Michelle, do you want to take it on?
No,
You and
okay.
I?
Jennifer, how would you like to be the TAC representative? That'd be great.
I guess, is it once a month?
Yeah.
I'm very curious about it. Yeah.
And you can check the agenda, and if there's nothing on there that interests you, depending on how long this thing goes on in Montpelier, just kind of keep your finger on the pulse, You don't have to drive into Montpelier every time.
Like a podcast.
I would hope not. Wait, Jim, were you driving to Montpelier?
No.
Okay, you were Zooming.
You go by Zoom.
Okay, great.
You used to have to drive to Montpelier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been kind of a non-starter for that meeting.
Yeah, that'd be
Also,
great.
just-
Jennifer, you'd be perfect on that.
Just so you all know, and I mean, Jenny's interested, so not really a point right now, but it does not have to be a PC member. It
What
can be
doesn't have
anybody
to
in
be?
town. The rep to the RPC or the rep to TAC can be anybody. If there's somebody in town who's really interested in transportation issues and Jenny decides she doesn't want to do it, the select board does not have to appoint a PC member to those
Great.
positions.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, let's find another person who wants to do it.
I've got, and the perfect person would probably be somebody here in the village with what we've had with traffic stuff. Even though
Who's the
Jim
lady
Crafts.
who lives over there and is always upset about the people driving fast?
Alice?
You mean
Alice, maybe?
Alice James.
Alice would be in, no, Alice Jane.
There's another person
She
over on,
could-
there's
she
another
could put the-
person over at Trout Hollow that might be interested, maybe, since it's only once a month. Who is a neutral person, is not extreme as far as,
Not Rocky,
no.
another
Can't
guy.
think of his last name, I should know it, but Mike.
Okay.
All righty, what am I missing here? We've got chair, vice chair. We've got Mad River Valley Planning District. We've got Central Vermont Regional Planning. TAC, maybe we'll put on hold for the time being.
Or we could recommend
Jennifer is voicing some,
We could recommend Jenny, at least for now. You can see how it goes, and then we want to
Yeah.
find some outside of PC.
Oh, this is TAC?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could read Front Porch Forum and see who has any comments on transportation, and then just that could be my job to find a person who cares a lot about it. Yeah, I do want to look at their agenda because I'm just wondering what Jim Crafts, like what you've noticed, if anything, has felt like we should be aware of.
Let me take a minute and think about that.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm happy to take that on for the time being.
So do we have to move to recommend to the select board? Is that?
TAC?
Wait a minute, is that okay with you, Jim?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
We can't give him
Okay.
3 special positions.
Right,
That seems
right.
like a lot.
Now, let me also throw this out, now that we've just appointed Jim Crafts to Central Vermont Regional, sorry, next one, the one up, Mad River Valley Planning District. Let's say for some reason that Sam doesn't want to do that. We'll have to find somebody else.
Well, Jim might like it.
No, I mean, if I sign on and no one wants to do it, I'll continue. I'm not worried
Okay.
about that.
It's
All right,
it's a
all right.
really good thing.
Oh, yeah,
I did it for
absolutely.
15 years.
Okay.
You also, I believe, need a secretary, not a recording secretary, a secretary. And you need to decide,
Well,
Ruth?
you're right, Carol, in the fact that there are certain things in probably statute, which is also in ordinance stuff that refers to the secretary, but there's also the default that if it's not the secretary, it's the town clerk. when it comes to official documents that are brought in, such as for appeals and things like that.
Right.
So if they go to the town clerk, we don't really need a separate secretary. But I mean, if you really think otherwise, we could have somebody, but it's just going to be a name only because I always send everything to the town clerk.
I'm happy to be the secretary. That sounds nice.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, and you're a legal eagle. It'd probably be good for you to. So, okay, we have two things now. Do we have a motion and a second for Jenny Felice being the secretary, our
Aye.
official secretary?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous, wow.
Um,
This whole board is so agreeable now.
Yeah.
and
Dan, we're here, you now,
and let's-
excuse me, but I'd like to go back and
let's officially, somebody here, move that we would like to continue having our recording secretary of Carol Chamberlain.
Aye.
A
I'll
motion
move
in
that Carol
favor.
is our recording secretary.
Second.
Aye.
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 Okay, so we've got an official secretary and a recording secretary. Okay.
But she
Thank
still
you.
owes us a trivia question
Yeah.
every meeting, and she hasn't done that yet.
Ooh.
Carol?
All right. I'll get on top of that, Jim. I'm sorry. I've neglected that duty.
Okay.
I gave you all those Valley reporters, so now we're.
And I haven't even had a chance to open them, so. Get that.
Okay, I think we're done. I think we covered everything. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, Ruth, if I
You
may,
may-
I
you
do
may-
recall. Oh, yes, Carol?
You need to designate a newspaper of record and you need to establish meeting times.
I'm sorry, what was the first one?
Newspaper record,
Oh,
Valley
the newspaper
Reporter,
record has
and
been,
meeting time, 7 o'clock on, second and fourth Monday of every week.
Aye.
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 Anything else, Carol?
I do recall there
That's
is. Carol, do you remember the Energy Committee? Lexi Edgecombe was on it, and I think for a second I was joining Lexi. Does anyone recall what that is? I think maybe it was just a
Yes.
town energy committee.
There's
So
nothing to do-
I
Yeah,
tried to do that last year, and I got no traction on that. So
Yeah.
that's the town energy coordinator,
Oh yeah.
well,
and
it's not a
Uh,
must-have.
I could not. I just it wasn't in my wheelhouse, and
Okay.
yeah, it wasn't enough bang for my buck as far as time went. So I kind of let it slide, and I told the select board that I was gonna resign my position, and they needed to reappoint someone.
Mhm. Do you know
Yeah.
anyone who might want to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
wasn't that started with Dorothy Kyle and Eric Bradstrom, didn't they kind of,
They did it for a while.
they did it for quite a while, I think.
Yeah.
And-
so there are some good things coming out of it, but it's kind of because of the funding, it's kind of dissolved down to this small education program and then weatherizing windows, and that's about it. So there's no, there was no traction around, okay, we're changing our carbon footprint for every resident in the town of Warren. That has lost all momentum. And it kind of, so whoever kind of decides to do that, just remember that kind of, I don't know, that landscape has changed significantly around that type of work.
But there's
Yeah, I'm not.
us.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I guess what it sounds like you're saying is that there's not a lot of formality to it. And so a small education program. So like the state hosts something and then there's some money for the weatherizing grant.
Exactly. There's like there's like $4,000 out there in a grant that we'll have to spend this year, and we could use it to either go into the schools with some posters, or we could try to, do some saran wrap windows for folks or something like that.
Okay.
But again, it's $4,000. You'll quickly go through that.
Sure. I mean, is it something, Ruth, that we keep on the agenda in case, like, we think that as a PC, we could come up with a project? And
That's a good idea.
just, can we just kind of keep that in mind?
Okay. Well, that we can also, when we're looking at the town plan, just take a look at that and see if there's something there that kind of inspires us too.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Jim, for recapping that. And I think that's helpful for us all to know that that kind of exists. That
Yeah, it had really noble goals to, back in the day, and it's lost its momentum.
Yeah, I'd just say energy efficiency has kind of lost its momentum.
Yeah,
Nationwide.
Yeah, I mean, ChatGPT is like, how fast can we burn up the Earth's resources so that we can get an answer to something quicker? It's a buzzkill for energy efficiency in your house when we're just burning up energy at all ends. Okay. I also have a thought. Do you think Kaylee Whitehouse would want to join the PC now that she's freed up some time?
I don't think so. I think she got off of the select board because she had a lot of other things going on.
Okay.
She was not, yeah, I really think that it's a time thing. So,
I know, but the select board takes up a huge amount of time.
True.
I think she moved here in like 2020. I'm still wary of newcomers.
You are.
Yeah.
2020, 6 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Well, if you
yeah.
don't know what it was like here before
There's
COVID, it's like,
pre-pandemic
I know,
and
that's-
post.
yeah.
Well,
That's true, but it's not bad sometimes to have somebody sort of naive about stuff, bring that attitude towards it.
I actually think she's a land use expert. I think that she does private consulting for other municipalities. Ruth, can you reinforce that?
So
I
not
will look
naive,
into
yeah.
it and I'll certainly.
I think that's what she
ask
does.
her. I'll ask her.
Yeah, I'll ask her too. She's another
There
Spring
was
Hill and
a-
Facein parent, so I see her all the
Was
time.
a suggestion from a DRB member about an alternate that we have on the DRB that would be really good on the planning commission because he's not showing up for the DRB.
He's not showing up for the,
Yeah.
Don Swain?
Don Swain.
No, forget
So why don't we
that.
keep
Forget, he
it?
won't show up for this.
Because this is a little different but you're right,
But John Ricard might be really good.
Well, no, I need him on the DRB.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
And Don was very good when he was coming and he sat next to me
I
at the
know,
town meeting and
yeah.
but anyways, okay, moving on. Carol, you had something you wanted to say a couple minutes ago. Carol? Carol?
Not there.
Okay, she stepped aside.
No, I'm here. I was sorry. I had walked away for just a sec, but I was still
No.
listening.
You
The
had
only
something.
She heard me mention ChatGPT and she figured she could take a time out.
No, I'm not sure if this is correct, but I think the reason that a lot of towns had an energy committee going or got an energy person going was several years ago when there had to be an energy chapter added to the town plan, and people needed that work done. And now most towns have their energy chapter in. There's not a whole lot to update on it. I think that's why there was a big energy push, and then it's kind of faded.
Oh,
I might be wrong, but I think that's it.
interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I mean, we've gotten EV, stations in here in town
Oh.
and
Maybe
Stuff.
someone from Roots Work is interested in it because with Roots Work, I was reading the town report, and that was one of the things that they had facilitated.
They had nothing to do with getting the
Oh.
EV charger.
no,
Nothing.
that was done by Jim Sanford.
I'm sorry, Jim. Okay, your
No,
name
no.
should just be on it. You should have a
No,
plaque.
it's just, there might be somebody on the Roots Work board to be worth having on the planning commission, but they had nothing to do with the EV thing.
Okay.
Who might that be?
Hmm?
Who might that be on Roots Work?
I don't know. It's a weird board, they're conspiracy theorists and all kinds of stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah, we need one of those.
Yeah.
It's
maybe.
interesting because I've just what little I've heard about them, that hasn't been one of them. So that kind of sends me in a different
You know,
direction.
You have one,
Listen
I'm
to the
just
radio
curious.
long
It's
enough.
just me talking.
Yeah.
Don't listen to
Yeah.
me.
Well, if I ever get around to
This is one of the
retiring, I was
reasons I gotta
thinking
get
that would be a
off this
board at
board.
1 a.m.
Too
What
much
was the reason?
opinionated architect.
Okay, that's great.
Okay, next on our agenda, are there any agenda changes before we go any
I had
further?
a proposal for one.
Okay,
I wanted to suggest that we postpone the conditions for habitat discussion. Not necessarily till, I mean, one idea was maybe we wait until they meet with the select board. Because if the select board says no way, then we just wasted a bunch of time drilling down on a bunch of details that are never gonna come to fruition.
I understand that, but as Jim Kraft said to me, this is our opportunity tonight to talk about the conditions that we would want for habitat and to have that before they meet with the select board.
Yeah, we just don't have another opportunity to communicate them to the select board, other than at that meeting.
Well,
So,
either that or we
yeah.
can send them a document saying, you know, we have discussed in our minutes. We can put it in a formal thing that your habitat's coming to see you. The PC has had lengthy discussions. We very much feel that Habitat for Humanity should be a part of what we do as far as putting together some obtainable housing over at the town garage site. And we want them to be part of that, but we also want to know that they can meet certain conditions.
Okay.
Wasn't
Yeah,
that?
I also
kind of-
think, yeah, like Ruth, I think we're at a good point where it's fresh in our mind and we can talk about these conditions, and these conditions are going to live with us, Michelle, like all the things that we care about. If for some reason Habitat isn't a good partner for the town, like we know what we want, we've kind of like fleshed it out more, or at least we have our discussion points that we can hand to the next partner. Because I think ultimately, like, our goals are the same. If it doesn't work with Habitat because the select board doesn't like however they come across or whatever their flexibility is, then there's certainly other tools that we can just continue to like drill down and figure out. But I think the conditions can just be like a living document that we have as a planning commission. Like I already have some. I'm ready to talk about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? And that is, does this group here open to and feel that that Habitat for Humanity could be a really good part of what goes on over there? But are you open to that being just a part of maybe some other entities that come in and help?
Well, it has to be
together.
unless we're gonna settle for 2 units.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Two
Yeah.
units or
Yeah.
2 units once every what, 2 or 3 years
Yeah.
kind of thing? I mean, it
Yeah,
could go
but
on
who
forever.
wants to live on a
that.
construction site, right?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
not
know,
fair.
I know.
Yeah.
So I think it
So
has
that's
to
where I
be.
just want to make sure that we all have that kind of vision
Mhm.
and that we kind of have an idea of what we want to see overall, so that when we're giving conditions for habitat specifically, it also might fall into what else we want to see.
Yeah,
But they have a very special model, which is great. It allows somebody to actually buy a house, their first house.
Yeah, it's incredible that they have financing and that
Right.
it becomes a
And they'll
community
take care of
project.
So we
Right.
keep it on our agenda is what we're saying.
Yeah, I'd like to discuss it.
Well, that's, I
Let's talk about it.
may not have worded it quite like that, but that's what that was about when I put down here. Preliminary discussionary conditions for habitat. That was not
Okay,
just
so we
for habitat
start
is the only thing.
and
That's
then
just,
continue
I
at our
think you
next
guys
2
will probably have
meetings.
another
Yeah.
meeting for.
oh,
We
yeah.
have 2 more.
Yeah,
hopefully
definitely.
Before the select board meets with them.
Yes.
Yeah, we have
So-
2 more.
So it seems like tossing out a whole bunch of things, whatever we're thinking about. Jenny's got a list.
Yeah.
I have a few
Okay.
things. You know, I'd say let's start with you, Jenny. What do you got?
Okay, so wait, are we going into it? Should we go into that as the
Okay,
agenda?
can we?
We wanna
Just
follow the agenda.
Preliminarily, we're not.
So we're gonna jump over, I'm just gonna look at the agenda here. And we
That's
have
what
a
it is.
chairman here. We've still got review and approve previous minutes and general public comments. We can move those and just jump into item 5, or we can do these 2 little things real quick.
So there's no
There's no
No
public,
agenda
let's just do the
changes.
minutes really
Minutes,
quick.
Just do the
Yeah.
minutes.
Maybe get an approval for the minutes, get that done with.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Yeah.
All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
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 All right,
Thank you.
so now we're ready for
All right, Jenny.
Jenny.
Conditions. Okay, great. And I'm gonna preface this by saying, I think these are high level conditions and they might not need to be said based on what Habitat has told us is a requirement of all of their developments, but I think that it would be good to say them anyway. And but number one, we want the property to contain housing for full-time residents only. That the owners would be using them as primary residents.
That's-
Number
that's a
two,
requirement of Habitat,
Hold
too.
on, can I just quickly comment on that? How about,
Yes.
or can an owner rent full-time to someone?
No, that's even a
Well, no, I
Habitat
know
thing.
that they can't if it's the Habitat house,
Yeah.
but we're envisioning other units as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm
oh,
just
okay.
saying in
Okay.
Jenny's vision. would
yeah,
you-
like if we have, we'll have a list, like I think we should come up with a list that's like, this is what the plan commission's vision is for the use of the town garage as housing. And so,
Okay.
and like
Okay.
point out when a condition, it would be a Habitat agreement, and then the comment would be, or, you know, if other developers or projects are contemplated, it would be that, the properties could be rentals, but Michelle, they would be rented to full-time residents, right? Is that
Okay.
what we're saying?
Yeah.
Or
Oh, yeah.
long-term renter, is that what you're saying?
Or year round.
Year
Either-
round?
Yeah.
I would like it
long-term-
to be year-round. We're seeing a lot of, in real estate, a lot of,
Long-term.
workaround where, I guess the issue that I'm seeing, and it's the legislature made a new property transfer tax to encourage people to buy property and then rent them as a long-term rental, but it only needs to be 30 days or longer. So people are renting to a family member. You know, it's not creating more housing, it's just kind of cheating the system. So it'd be nice if we had something that's like so specific that it's like you're renting it to someone who is
Living
has
there.
to be, who's working here.
So a 1 year
How-
lease.
So, yeah, a minimum 12 months.
A minimum 1 year lease.
Yeah, which would be
Yeah,
12
yeah.
months.
That
Yeah,
sounds
12 months, 12 months. Yeah.
I'd start there, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
Number two is that just stating the priority is workforce housing. I don't know how to work this into a condition. I just feel like it is our priority to say it's for workforce housing or young families. And I don't want to
Curious-
detract from like we need senior housing, but I want this. I think that what we've talked about is like really using the space to reinforce the ability of our community to have more of a workforce for our businesses.
Yeah, can we more specifically say that for local workforce, like people that work in the valley?
That would
Not,
be nice. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is what I mean, but
I know
So-
it would be nice if we could put a condition in with where Habitat is interviewing and they're getting applications, and we can literally say to them, we want your applications to ask where this person has employment if they're allowed to. I don't, you know, it would be nice to say they're also sponsored by Lawson's or like a construction company or something, you know.
What
That'd be a
happens
nice
when
condition.
the person loses their job and they gotta go to Barry or someplace like that? You know, that's gonna
I
happen.
think that's fine. You know, that's fine. I think like the important part is if we're really only building 2 units to start with and we're phasing it in, like that we could be selective.
Yeah.
well,
Okay,
but
I
so-
would
thought
love
we
it to, yeah.
only build 2
So-
units to start.
So no
No.
seniors, no
Yeah.
seniors. I realize I'm representing my
No.
age group
Well,
here.
me too. I'm a renter, Jim.
But,
remember?
that means we won't, it's all gonna be young people there, there won't be any, senior citizens.
I mean, the
I'm
way
just-
I don't know if it.
I'm presenting my priorities. Anyone can disagree with them.
70%
need
young
to be-
people and 30%
Mm.
over 55.
Yeah, it
No?
doesn't need to be exclusionary, but maybe some like
As far-
Okay, we could say
Catering
emphasis towards young
emphasis
people.
towards,
Yeah.
right.
But
Yeah.
So as far as the habitat selection process goes, and I think this ties into what you're getting at, I did want to give them a condition if we can, that there needs to be some kind of tie to the valley of the person
Mhm.
getting the house. So
Yeah.
we can't have somebody that's from somewhere totally else in Vermont that just happens to need housing that gets the Warren Habitat House.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's-
like it has to
Yeah.
be someone that has either they work in the valley or they
Maybe
live
there's-
here, but
there's
they
somebody's
rent.
kid that hasn't been able to get a
Or they
place
work
here,
here, but they're living in Northfield.
but
Like,
they grew
Or
up.
Granville. There's Granville families who are sending their kids to Warren and they would like to be here.
Yep.
but it's like they have to have some tie or want to be part of this community as opposed to just purely need housing and not really care where it is.
Yeah.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good. That's
You
good.
know, I just think there are a lot of families in this valley that their kids have not been able to afford
Yeah,
living here.
Yeah.
After
Yeah,
they've
or
gotten
they
out of
built a
college.
unit at their parents' house so that they could fit. Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
okay.
So
what
how
else?
would you word that as a condition?
I guess that in their selection process, like their application process, the applicants have to have a connection to the valley.
Yeah.
I guess that's vague, but
Yeah,
it probably is enough.
and yeah,
It should weed out the people that just want a house and don't care where it is and have no connection to the valley.
Yeah.
I mean, we could list options such as you work here, you want to work here.
You grew up
you
here.
grew up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, 'cause you don't want somebody who has a second home here and their kid has just gotten out of college and thinking maybe, well, now they can live here and, buy a house, they've
Yeah.
been out on their own for a while.
I mean, honestly,
is
I'm
that a
fine with that.
connection to the
If
valley?
they want to live here, I'm fine with that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, if they, and maybe they would,
I'm just thinking that connection is kind of
It's vague.
intermediate. Yeah. vague.
yeah.
Okay. Emphasis
which
toward having a
makes-
connection to the valley. I would think, I'm hopeful that either that there's enough people that are already in the local workforce that would qualify, that if this isn't doesn't have to be a vague connection, it's going to be an easy connection,
Yeah.
or that we're finding a family where the kids are already attending one of the Harwood Union schools. So I think our priority is housing someone currently in the local workforce, or with children already attending or trying to attend a HUUSD or local school. Is that
Yes,
cut
like-
to fit?
So I have a question, and I don't know the answer to this, but I just would like people to think about it. I think back to my son's situation. He works for Roots Builders. He lives in Waterbury because he managed to find a half of a duplex that he rents with 3 or 4 other guys, and that
Wow.
changes month to month, right? Either it's 3 guys that are in there, or it's 4 guys. And those are prime workforce people that we want, to help.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're talking about housing that would house 4 guys like that. And which is unfortunate because they're kind of our bread and butter as far as what's making the valley go around right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Jim.
So anyway, I don't know how to think about that.
Well, wait a sec. That's somebody owns that house and they rent it to 3 or 4 guys long term.
Yes, they do. Yep.
Okay, so that's an option here. That's Jennifer's number 2 option. They-
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
You
But I
one of those,
understand what Jim's saying is that the way Habitat has framed their applicants, it's like,
But I thought
They-
all those things were not just limited to Habitat.
That's right.
Remember,
Okay.
Jack?
yeah. Okay,
Okay,
so let's
We
just keep
gotta
on
be
going.
talking
So,
about this as if
I just didn't want to be exclusionary about where they work because 2 of those guys, one guy works in Stowe, one guy works
Uh-huh.
in Burlington as a welder.
Okay.
So I don't know how to think about that.
For the Habitat person.
Hmm?
My comment about having a connection to the valley was more specific to the Habitat
Right.
House.
Okay.
well, this is where
But I
we
think
should have a
we-
list that specifically conditions that we want to put out to Habitat prior to them meeting with the select board, so we can have that as part of the
Yeah.
conversation with the
Yeah.
select board after they've heard from Habitat.
Well, I think one
Or
of
even
them,
giving something to the select board before the meeting about how you
Mhm.
feel about it. but there are obviously going to be other things for whoever else takes care of the rest of.
Well, I think
the
that that's a
development.
condition in itself, which the habitat plan only works if they're successful at pairing with another developer
Mhm.
and putting in some non-habitat units. And that's really unclear to me because they
Okay.
said, yes, we would like to do that, but we don't know how and we've never done it before.
Right.
So I think
Oh.
we just,
Just because they've never done it before doesn't mean they
Right.
can't do it
So
We
here.
give
maybe
them a
that needs to
chance,
be
I
one of
think.
the items on this list.
Absolutely.
yes, it definitely
I,
does.
this project doesn't work if it's all habitat.
Right,
To-
so
to
there's
me,
a
it doesn't work.
condition.
But if Habitat does a couple of units there and somebody else does a couple of units there with a little more flexibility in them for age group, rental, whatever these things are, then I think the Habitat thing really does work. And maybe Habitat can structure it so, hey, we're gonna do the master plan of this whole thing. We're gonna do 2 of the units and we're gonna make 8 units available for, you know, other developers to build them. I don't know the answer to that, but we can craft it any way we want and see how they can fit into it.
Yeah, I think everyone seems to agree that has to be a condition and we just hope they can pull it off. You know, it sounds
Yeah.
like they're trying.
I think this more I think we just have to talk to them a lot because I had different takeaways, like from the meeting with them. I got the impression that they had a project somewhere where the town said what we're saying to them. We have this big piece of land. We want you to help and bring in another developer. And they did an architectural mock-up. They did like land use planning, and they couldn't find the other developer. So like Habitat spent time and crafted a project to be built, and then it just didn't get built. So
Yeah.
But
I think that was,
and I
think
thought that's what he was saying to us. Like we've tried this, like we're telling you it hasn't worked, and we're happy to like try again. But
Yeah, I think it has to be that they try that and it's a condition and that we don't.
I
We don't
think
go
from what
for
I
it.
recall, they were mentioning that project being like a very large scale project, like way on
Yeah.
scale compared to
Yeah.
what we're dealing with.
Ours
So I
sounds-
think it's a
has more
different
hope.
condition. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that is it,
I
and
think they
plus
would be.
this town, we've already got so many of the parts of this are in place.
Mm.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
in the right location, it's got septic, it's
Yeah.
got, you know, I mean, everything about this is just primo for a development. And the desire is there. I mean, you talk to Mac Rood said, you can fill that thing up in a nanosecond with people.
So we have 2 priorities. So like the number 1 is full-time residents only, and then with other developers that it be rented to full-time residents with a 12-month lease. And then that number 2 is that priority is to house people who are currently in the local workforce or young families with kids that would be attending local schools, with the emphasis, again, like just general emphasis on having that connection to the valley. If anyway, so those 2 things. And then and I'm creating this as a Google Doc and I'll share it with you so you can add comments. And then number 3 would be what we talked about is that we want the parcel to be developed with the highest density that could fit there, given zoning and site conditions, which they said that they would determine for us after they complete a feasibility study.
Okay, and then so then they have to partner with a private developer to do the remaining units. I think the idea is.
That is a big question mark for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but I think it has to be a condition because otherwise we end up with one Habitat duplex and that's it. And we've sold the land, it's gone, and that's all we got.
No, my understanding was that he was agreeing with me when I said we want the highest density. And can someone remind me the name of the head of Habitat?
Zach.
Zach. Okay. So Zach said, yes, we also want to do the highest density. I can't tell you what the highest density is until we do a feasibility study. So I thought he was saying, if you sell us this land, we will agree to build the highest density of units that would fit there.
But we don't want them to build them all because then they're super restricted to the habitat conditions.
That's right.
We want them
To build a
enter
couple
into
of
the
them.
option
Yeah.
agreement with the condition that they're only buying the land if they are able to bring in another developer who's gonna commit to fill in the rest of the density with private or for-profit units. I don't know how to say it, but I have
guess-
like partner with another developer to do another 10 to 12 units. And then
Right, I
have-
don't disagree with that, but I think I just want to continue the discussion. I want to like be able to move forward in a way that we don't somehow commit to full habitat housing, but also have them agree to it if we can't come up with a developer. Like, let's say they give us 2 years to find that private developer and we can't. I'd like us all to come together and be able to say, green light to Habitat, please keep building. We can't do this any other way, and we would like these restrictive housings here.
That means we get 8 buildings, Habitat duplex that look exactly the same.
Well,
And I'm
they said
open to
they
that
would
being
be the
like our way to
ones-
get housing. That's what I'm saying to you. Like, I'm open to that. I'd like to continue the discussion on that.
I don't even think they would want to do that because it would be going on for 10 years.
I
Zach sat here and he said, I want that too. He said, we want to build you the highest density.
I know, but he was meaning by pairing
But
with another
partnership
developer.
with
No,
other-
Yeah.
it's not. So I
No,
think
that's
like
not-
that's why we'll put our conditions together and we'll keep talking about it. Because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought he was
I'll tell
saying
you
yes, do that.
For me, the word highest density is a real red flag.
Why
highest
is it a red flag?
But
Because they could jam a lot of units down there.
Well, this is where we really should consider.
No, our land use. We set up our land use regulations to say what we thought was
But
acceptable.
the configuration of units our land use doesn't say anything about common space or anything like that.
It
This
says
is where-
dwellings per acre.
The PUD.
Yeah.
We have site requirements for a PUD. So yeah, if you don't trust the DRB to do it right, then that's
We
another
only
thing.
sell Habitat one unit.
One parcel, yeah.
That's another.
is the thing that I think would make the most amount of sense.
What?
If
That
you
way, the phase.
Off into a PUD
Yeah.
and allocate X amount of parcels to Habitat, and then the rest are infilled by whoever
Maybe,
else wants to develop
Yeah.
something.
Wait
it should
a minute,
happen
did we
at the
design
same time.
did we design
Well,
the
see,
PUD?
if we
I
go through
think
the
the
CHIPS
town
program,
has
we could.
input in it, yeah, and we
If we go through the
design
what?
it,
The
The
CHIPS
CHIP program.
program at the state.
That's not a bad idea.
absolutely.
I've definitely
yeah.
thought about that. I mean,
Well-
yeah, that's might be safer
Right.
because we
Exactly.
That
we
would
don't
allow
that way
us
we don't
the-
risk losing
the
Habitat
variety that I
entirely
think we
if they
want.
can't pull it off.
Right.
They
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
also give us the money for the road from Loose Pierce. They would
Yeah.
help us with that. They would do a lot of that. That's one of the things that they will do is, if I understood it correctly, and I've only been through it once,
I read through the thing too.
but they could do a lot of our preliminary stuff and they don't need to do anything more because they will do that because they know that it's designated for some housing. And then we could get a separate contractor and we say, here's our plans. Will you bill it? Will you build it? And we could get money from the state for that as well.
Okay, so how about this so in terms of talking about conditions, the condition would be that Habitat for Humanity has an option to purchase. So we would have to know an approximate number of units that would fit in a planned unit development. So I think we could set it as a percentage. So we give Habitat enough to spend their money on a feasibility study with the option to purchase 25% of the units in a PUD, a PUD, planned unit development, on the space, and see if they would go with that. Give them a percentage,
I would
and
say
they would
maybe-
still have to do the feasibility study, and they would have to come up with the PUD plan that meets our land use regulations.
I think they
Well,
basically
we
want to
can
do
come
2
up
units.
with the PUD plan
So-
because
Yeah,
we've
two,
kind
okay,
of
that's- so
if
analyzed
it's
this
10,
area
then
and we
that
know
works.
Yeah.
generally what we're looking to put in there. So we've already
Okay.
determined that we're comfortable with what 12 to 16.
Yeah, 12 to 16.
12 to 16. Here's the layout that we're thinking. Here's the
Mhm.
access. Here's the road with the common space. And here are all the parcels. And
Yeah.
would you be interested in?
Purchasing X parcel or parcels,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
depending who you divvy it
Yeah.
up. I think
Yeah.
that's something that, once we know a little bit more of what they think, when they kind of get a little bit more of a deep dive, and if they're willing to come back with the information and say, okay, how much of this can we have to put in, or how much, this is how much we need to do
Mhm.
2 duplexes.
And I
You
think it
know,
would be
or something.
even, I mean, it sounds like that's something that Habitat is also looking for, like that's what they mentioned in the meeting,
Yeah,
of like the
okay.
want.
Having us do the planning for the remainder of the
And
development.
then everyone knows what
What's
they're
going
in
on.
for,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
like it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be this bigger thing for
Mhm.
Habitat. They know that, okay, we're a part of just this part of it, you know?
Mhm.
It could
Okay.
work in everyone's favor. I think it'd be
So
great
what I'm, okay,
if we could maybe get someone from Roots here in a future meeting to discuss potential interest. I talked to Ben just like at work, kind of
Mhm.
chatting with him about what we're talking about here. And he's like, oh yeah, I love Habitat. I love all the things that they do. I volunteered with them when I was younger. I would love to like lend a hand, you know?
Mhm.
So
Do you want to spec build a unit though, or do they not really do that?
well, they do prefab, right?
Okay.
So it comes in panels and he could
Is that
assemble the
They
panels.
don't do just prefab, do they?
Habitat is working on
Habitat does.
But I
Oh, I
mean,
thought
would
you meant
Roots
that.
itself want to
Well,
develop a unit?
well, that's the other thing is we could also propose, hey, what if this is a PUD and you would want to build some under your own umbrella for workforce housing or
Right, or to
what have
sell.
you.
So
I'm
Adam,
gonna,
eh,
yep,
Not a developer
I'm sorry, I
by
just had a
any
I'll
question.
means.
reserve my, after Jim, I'd like to make a comment.
Go
So,
ahead.
so does the town need to hire a planner for this development? And say, hey, we want you to go plan this neighborhood development for us. And then we offer up to Habitat, pieces of that plan. How do we do that?
Well, there's what Devin mentioned, the local small scale developer program that is
I'm not
accessible
familiar with that.
to she mentioned it at one of the prior select board meetings that it's like the state of Vermont, I think, is putting on some programs to teach folks like us how to tackle
Cause a PUD,
small
we just
scale
have to draw
development programs like
lots,
that.
right? And they work out the details.
I mean, if we work
You need an
together,
engineer to figure out where the shared
I mean,
infrastructure
there has to
is.
be there has to be a really clear site
Help
survey,
us
there has to
with-
be
with
civil
an
engineering
engineer.
done. You know, we gotta figure out where the wetlands
Yeah.
are.
That covers the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
development.
You know,
We
you
gotta
need
do
a-
the whole nine
Okay.
yards,
Well,
so
yeah.
that somebody knows, so that, and somebody who wants to put money into the thing says, oh, okay, this is real.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, I did a
Exactly.
sketch.
Yeah.
It's
So-
just that, it's just a sketch.
Yep.
Before that becomes any sort of reality, I don't even have a topographical map of the site. You know, I don't know where the wetlands are. I don't know,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, there's a ton of stuff which we have to figure out.
Right,
And
so we're not,
Chip
I
can
guess,
get-
going back to the conditions, like, we're coming up with
Yeah,
kind of the minimum agreement that we think will get Habitat to say, that's enough for us. We will
Okay.
spend $70,000 on the feasibility study to tell you, town of Warren, where the wetlands are, hopefully like come up with the topographic map
yeah,
and come up with like the parameters that would be the baseline to say how many units can fit here, where would the shared water go? I would hope, you know, where's the well gonna go? So I think we need to come up with like Adam, it looks like 16 would fit, but we don't know that. And that's why I'm proposing a percentage that we'd say to Habitat, like, will you come start this project for us with the option to purchase X percentage of the units that you find that we all find are feasible, and you get to, because I think we have to go through the DRB too to have that PUD. So it's like you won't know how many units you get until you're deep into this.
Yeah. We would just want to make sure that that's a percentage that they would
I mean, I
Or a
think they want
minimum.
duplex, essentially.
okay with.
What was it? What do you think they want?
One duplex.
One.
The project in Randolph was 2 duplexes, wasn't it?
Oh,
Side by
okay.
Was
side.
it 2 of those? Or was it 1? What was it? Randolph. I'm just looking it up.
go if it's one duplex.
Just
I
one
think that's
duplex.
kind of their
Okay.
program right now is they
Oh,
want to
that's
do.
great.
Okay,
But then,
yeah.
but this is like, I wonder if it's different. We'll find out. All we're doing is saying what we want. So we'll just say one. You get one unit. You get, right? Like the condition is right now you get one.
Units. I mean, if
Well,
there's
it's
16
2
units,
units,
if
one
there's 12
building.
units, they could build two of them, two
Two.
duplexes, which would be four.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
a quarter, that's 25% of
So
16.
option to
including-
purchase
Yeah.
a parcel or parcels large enough to build
2 duplexes.
two. Awesome. Okay. That's all we needed to come up with. All right.
Oh,
Sweet.
yeah.
All right.
Carol has her hand up.
Yeah, Carol, what do you got?
Just kind of listening to this and thinking about it as if I was Habitat, I'd be wondering why I was expected to do the feasibility study for the entire site.
They offered.
Am I going to get
You
deal?
have to.
Am I going to get my 25% at a much more reduced cost for the land than the other developers are? Or is
Yes.
the town going to work with CHIP to get
You
a lot
probably
of
would.
infrastructure in place? That's
Yeah,
just
maybe
kind of what's going on in my
Our
head.
parcel's cheap, but we make the
I
other
think there's going to be a
developers-
lot of back and forth. And I think like what we're doing right now is really valuable for us because we're coming up with
Yeah.
like where we are now. And if Habitat says no way, then like, great. We've asked the very specific questions that we all have.
Yeah,
And like, but Carol, you're right. Like they could be like, that's not going to make sense to us, but like they have to say that to us after we tell them what we are comfortable with.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I have like an overarching question of what is their preference? Would they rather be the ones who plan the whole development and partner with the developers, or would they rather what we're talking about now, which is
Just
we
build
kind
2
of do the
units.
PUD and give them a piece to do their 2 units? I don't know what they.
Well,
it's
that's a
not clear
question to
yet.
ask for them. You know.
Yeah,
I think
but maybe
if-
we should decide first what we prefer, which it sounds like maybe the PUD, so we have more say over what the whole development
Yes.
looks like.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what I
not only
think.
that, but on my list is you get a whole bunch of houses together. Let's have an HOA too, homeowners
Oh,
association.
yeah, that's gonna be required.
Yeah.
Requirement in there,
Yeah.
so these people, are forged into a neighborhood whether they like it or not.
Well, and that's how you get
Yeah.
the year-round resident
Yeah,
requirement, is the
yeah.
HOA.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
if we're the ones who set the PUD, then we're the ones who have the most say in what goes on there. So
Yeah, I
the
think that's
smartest.
probably our first choice.
And
Because
maybe-
clearly we all want
Have
to
input.
have the input on it.
Okay, here's a vision and tell me how crazy it sounds. Let's say we take 25-30% of it for the 2 duplexes. The rest of it, if we really want to control it and have some variety and some interest in there, maybe that's where we have a group of architects that are here in the valley and saying, okay, Tom, Dick, and Harry, each of you, give us a couple buildings, or something
Yeah.
like that. I don't know,
Yeah.
that you think would fit well in here.
Mhm.
And that would be, good in the valley,
Yeah.
in the village, I don't know.
Well, I think
But when
that's
we're
also
talking, yeah.
that we have to set with Habitat is so that the opinionated architects can have the say in the outcome of the Habitat houses as well. Because the things that we saw with that Randolph duplex, I mean,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, like why
it's-
can't they do a shed roof? It's cheaper. There's no joint on top, right?
Well, something
Something like
there's-
that, just because it
It's
looks
not. It's
cool.
not just like I'm not concerned of it from like an aesthetic standpoint. I'm concerned about it from like a lifespan of buildings.
Longevity. Yep.
Of the building. Like you don't want this thing to just be in 15 years not standing the test of time.
Yeah.
of-
Well, I was thinking
life
about that.
Aren't they pretty good buildings or not?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, from
Well, and do they have maintenance
Like-
requirements? Like if you own a Habitat home
Yeah,
for
you gotta
20,
maintain.
you do,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't
So-
know. I mean, you can put it in the HOA anyway,
Yes.
that you have to maintain, but.
Okay. So the condition, I'm trying to figure out what else I wanted to flesh out about this condition. So we're talking about Warren, generally, the town of Warren, generally the planning commission obtain the PUD permit. And when I think about what it means to obtain a PUD permit, you are contracting with an engineer. You are getting the state wastewater and potable water supply permit. In this case, it's not wastewater, it's just potable water because we have town wastewater. But anyway, you're planning the connections. You do still have to apply to get the connections. But there are a lot of pieces that mean getting the PUD permit. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily want to sign up for that if Habitat is able to, but I don't think that we have to give up the site review, because I think what we're saying is we want to know what it looks like, but I don't think we want to engage the engineers and get the state
Why not?
permits.
If we can do it through the
I
state.
don't think that's realistic.
I still think the CHIPS program could take care of that.
Okay, so we still have
So-
options.
Yeah,
So
we
just
have
leave it as Warren. So right now, our preference as a group is that the town of Warren, the condition is the Warren obtains the PUD permit
I think so.
and go
Yeah.
from there. That's fine. I'm just saying, we'll see how it goes, but there's a lot of pieces to it.
CHIPS program came together in 6 months. That's how really dedicated the state program was to get this done, because they want to be able to give us an opportunity to be able to do the sort of thing like we want to do here.
Yeah,
And
this is right in their wheelhouse.
exactly. So how that can intersect with Habitat, I don't know yet, because I don't know enough about both of them. But I really think that it's not going to necessarily be, we're going to have to, on the CHIPS program as a town, we are going to have to be involved with them, but it's not like we're doing it. In other words,
Yeah.
you know, especially monetarily.
Well, we're gonna have that, what is it called, task force or
Yeah,
what have you.
yeah.
So we're gonna have a group of people who are investing their time and energy to figuring this out. And with the programs, that's our duty. It's just like being
Yeah,
a
yeah.
private landowner. You just bought a piece of land and you're looking to put your house on it. You have to decide what you want, where it's going to go, and then all of the engineering and all the mumbo jumbo that takes you to get there, right? This is just that, except on a town level, or on
So-
a.
I mean, that's
a
amazing, but are we getting a line item for engineer? Like maybe we should start, like town meeting, there's line items, 25,000 to PTO, 30,000 to Conservation Commission. I think we start a line item because we're going to need some money for engineering. Right.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Like town garage line item, please give us 10K,
I think
for
it can be
engineers.
us paying for it.
You're
This is
saying
what
the
I'm
Because
trying
state
to
they're
tell
CHIPS
you.
program pays
Yes,
for it.
CHIPS
yes.
program.
Chips is
Yes.
gonna pay for it. Okay,
Yes.
awesome.
Maybe.
Maybe,
Okay.
maybe. I mean,
It
it's something
looks
we
like
need
they
to
We're
look
might
at.
do
banking
that.
on that.
They will do they will do all the the pre stuff for
Yeah.
us, and they
Yeah.
don't necessarily need to. And I'm going to send you so that you can see the video and you can see
Yeah,
what they
I watched it.
talked about.
But
I know
you
you
said-
have. I'm talking
Oh.
about these guys.
Oh, they
I'm talking
haven't
about
seen it.
everybody. I know
Okay.
you, Jim, did,
Yeah, I'll watch it.
but I want Jen.
So they don't pay for it, right?
Right.
They're supposed to borrow against it.
Correct.
So so we've got
It's
to,
not-
if
it's
we
not
do
free
this,
money.
we have to increase the grand list. So,
Okay, see, you know it
It-
better than I do.
And
but I
that just means
know that-
having
well,
taxpayers.
it's a tough situation there because, you're asking the town to borrow money against something that is not done yet that we think we can do, but if we don't, that puts the town in a pretty bad spot.
But if we don't do
And
it,
that's how
then it
you
won't
interpreted the
happen.
CHIPS thing,
So
Jim?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
the chip thing, right? I mean, they're allowing us to borrow money against our improvement to our increase in the grand list.
Yeah.
That's not ideal.
And, I don't know,
Okay.
being kind of a pessimist here. Well, what happens if we don't pull this off the way we want to? We put ourselves in kind of a tough spot. That's why I think that we should just pay for an engineer, myself.
Okay,
My
all right.
opinion is we go tell the town, we need $25,000 or maybe $12,000 or something like that over the
Yes.
next couple of years. And we're going to pay for some engineering work.
yeah,
Okay.
And if we're really serious about building housing, we'll go invest in it like that. That's my view.
Yeah.
And we've got money in the capital fund, planning money in the capital fund that we should be able to do that with, I think.
Perfect.
I can't guarantee it, but it's there. I
Okay.
think.
I think
Okay,
that's
so then-
I think that's a very good idea.
What else is on your list, Jenny?
Okay, so I've just added, so condition number 3 is that the town of Warren obtains the PUD permit and provides that the option to purchase is for a parcel to build one duplex. One, right? Yes, to build one duplex. Okay. And then I had the condition that it be the highest density because I thought that is what came out of our meeting with Habitat, but that I'm just going to do a strike through because right now we're saying that's not what we want. That's not really.
No.
But I
You know, we're
like
looking
this.
for an appropriate sized neighborhood down there.
How about
Okay.
appropriate? Can we say
Yeah,
that?
and
I like
that's-
the 10 to 16.
Jim, I think you've got the key word there, right? The densest neighborhood that we can build. I mean,
that
But
neighborhood.
right now, if we're talking about this, so what I'm trying to do is craft a set of conditions that can be given to the select board and can be discussed with Habitat as our memorandum of understanding, working towards that option to purchase. So like, we wouldn't have to tell them, the condition isn't that they build the highest density. The condition of the option to purchase is that they are getting the option to purchase a parcel to build one duplex.
Mhm.
So that's the condition, that's to build one duplex.
So you
And
wanna
then-
do lot two? I thought you
I
wanted
think
to do
lot-
To
two.
build oh gosh, thank you, two
Who's
duplexes.
gonna-
That's two units.
Who's gonna
Yes,
communicate
two
this to them prior to the select board meeting and
That would be
have-
four.
Let's get there. Let's just get our conditions done. Okay, so that's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
two duplexes, so 4 units, Okay, I'm just let me get through some conditions that we can all kind of agree on.
Yeah.
And then the condition, let's see, condition number 4 is that Habitat fund the feasibility study that will identify. I might be going overboard here, but Jim Sanford, do we need to say what the feasibility study is supposed to identify? Or is that they know what they're doing?
Probably they know what they're doing. You know, they're
Okay.
gonna do a brownfield assessment, they're gonna do a wetlands thing, they're gonna do, slopes. One of the things that makes me nervous about Habitat is I think there's some possibility there on that site to have some first floor.
Up throughout the night, and then I just did not want to leave him alone today. Yeah.
yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, he seems like
Well,
he's coming
hopefully
back
he's
though,
okay.
but his digestive system is so sensitive. Okay, so I'm just trying to strike through this. I want to keep this doc